for class 11th. Now, before actually going to the content of this chapter, we should know what are organic compounds and what is organic chemistry actually it is. Now, compounds of carbon were initially extracted from natural substances, that is living organism, and it was thought that these carbon compounds could only be formed within the living organism. It means earlier it was thought that these organic compounds cannot be formed in the laboratory. They are present or they can be extracted or they are available from the living organisms only. And there was a theory known as vital force theory that was given by Berzelius in 1815. According to this theory, organic compounds are produced only under the influence of some mysterious uh, force existing in the living organism. But in 1828, Friedrich Hohler, he prepared the first organic compound, that is urea, in the laboratory. He was heating this ammonium cyanate, and it was isomerizes into the urea. So urea was the first organic compound. Next, acetic acid was synthesized by Cole in 1845, and that of methane by Berthelot in 1856. Now, class of compounds in which one or more atom of carbon are covalently linked to atoms of other elements means the compounds or the class of compounds in which carbon is linked with hydrogen and some other elements like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, etc. These are known as the organic compound. So, modern definition of organic chemistry is branch of chemistry that deals with the study of hydrocarbons and their derivatives. Now, hydrocarbons are the compounds of carbon and hydrogen. Now, existence of large number of organic compound is due to the self-linking property known as catenation and due to tetravalency of carbon. It means we study organic chemistry as the separate branch of chemistry, and so many carbon compounds are there. So that is due to the two unique properties of carbon, that is catenation and tetravalency. Catenation means self-linking property to form long chain compounds, and tetravalency means it has valency 4. Now, the structure of organic compounds can be expressed in different ways, and they can be complete structure formula, they can be condensed structure formula, and bond line structure formula. So, you can see in this slide complete structure formula. As you can see, we take the example of ethane. Now, ethane, there are 2 carbons are there, and 3 hydrogens are attached to each carbon atom with single bonds. But if we write this condensed structure formula, if we write it like CH3CH3. Likewise, other you can see ethene, then for ethine, and then methanol also. Now, bond line structure representation, in it carbon and hydrogen atoms are not shown, and the lines representing the carbon-carbon bonds are drawn in a zigzag fashion. So we don't write the C and H means carbon and hydrogen, but we'll draw a line in a zigzag fashion. The only atoms specifically written are oxygen, chlorine, and nitrogen if they are present, along with carbon and hydrogen. If any other atom is present like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, chlorine, etc., that can be mentioned. Now, terminals denote methyl, that is CH3 group, unless indicated otherwise by a functional group, while the line junctions denote carbon atom bonded to appropriate number of hydrogens required to satisfy the valency of carbon atom. As you can see, we can write 3-methyl octane. In the green box you can see we write it in a condensed formula, and its bond line representation is shown in the blue box. You can very well see how to write the bond line structure of 3-methyl octane. Now, the classification of organic compounds, they can be classified into 2 categories, that is acyclic or open chain compound and cyclic or closed or rings compounds. Now, these cyclic can be further classified into 2 categories, alicyclic and aromatic. Now, alicyclic, they are of 2 types, homocyclic or carbocyclic, and heterocyclic compounds, that is non-aromatic. Whereas aromatic compounds are of 3 types, benzenoid, non-benzenoid, and heterocyclic. Benzenoid means which contain benzene ring. Non-benzenoid, they don't contain benzene ring. Heterocyclic means along with the these carbon and hydrogen, they contain other atoms like oxygen, nitrogen, sulfur, etc. Now, these are the acyclic or open chain. You can see ethane, isobutane, acetaldehyde, acetic acid, how we write them in the this open chain form. Then is the alicyclic. They are homocyclic or heterocyclic. Homocyclic, these compounds contain ring of 3 or more carbon atoms like cyclopropane, cyclobutane, cyclopentane, cyclohexane, etc. Heterocyclic, atoms other than carbon are also present in the ring, like tetrahydrofuran you can see in this example. Aromatic, I had already told you this benzenoid which contain benzene ring, non-benzenoid like tropolone, and then heterocyclic aromatic compounds like furan, thiophene and pyridine, which contain other atoms like oxygen, sulfur and nitrogen with them. Now the functional group is an atom or group of atom which when joined or which when present along with the carbon chain, they describe the characteristic properties of that particular compound. Now if we attach, or you can say if hydroxyl group OH is attached with the this 3 carbon ring along with the hydrogens, then it is a propanol. So then we can very well say that this compound is alcohol. If CHO group is attached with any number of carbon atom, then we can say this compound is aldehyde, and likewise if COOH group is present, we can say it is the carboxylic acid group. Now homologous series is a series of similar constituted compounds in which the members present have the same functional group, same chemical properties, and any two successive member in a particular series differ in their molecular formula by CH2 group. It means you can say a series or the in which each successive members they have the same functional group, they have same chemical properties, but the difference is only the next member is having one CH2 group different from the other. So now next is the most important part of this chapter, that is how to write the IUPAC names or the IUPAC system of nomenclature. Actually IUPAC, the full form is International Union of Pure and Applied Chemistry, and you can say this these the names are internationally accepted. Now for that we have to consider carbon chain, how many carbons are there in a particular chain, and how many other atoms or what are the other groups or substituents are attached to it. According to that we can assign the name, IUPAC name to that compound. Now you can say for alkanes, or the basic criteria for naming the compound is we count the number of carbon atom. If it is 1 we write meth, if it is 2 write eth, if it is 3 write prop, and likewise you can see the box in which we have written number of carbon atoms up to 10, then it is dec. Now since it is alkane, suffix ane is added, so it becomes methane, ethane, propane, butane, pentane, hexane, etc. Now for alkene, it is the unsaturated hydrocarbon which contain carbon-carbon double bond is there. So and its general formula is CnH2n. So in which n is the number of carbon atoms. So at least 2 carbons should be there to have this double bond. So the simple most alkene is C2H2 into 2, that is C2H4, that is ethene. Likewise alkynes, these are also unsaturated hydrocarbons with the carbon-carbon triple bond. So the general formula is CnH2n minus 2. So the simple most alkyne is ethyne, in which C is 2 and H is 2. C2H2, then it is ethyne. Now for naming the alkyl groups, you know, if we remove one hydrogen from the parent alkane, like if we remove one it is methane is CH4, and if we remove one hydrogen it will become CH3, and we call it or we name it as methyl. This